What's up, guys? Uh, just finished my pre-market charts. So, I'm probably gonna be very cautious today because, pre-news, FOMC and Jerome Powell speaking, and a bunch of earnings. But the only one that's I think would be the safest stock to trade today would be Nvidia and Tesla, I'd say. But we'll see. But my main thing was good is probably gonna be Nvidia. That's the guy I'm gonna be watching very closely. Uh, yeah, and good thing my mic is not muted because yesterday the entire trading session, my mic is muted, and it looks stupid just doing this around in the charts. No mic. Hopefully I don't make that mistake again. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for the first 5 minutes to form. Um, I'm gonna need like a perfect A plus trade for anything to be like, like worth my while. Apple's hands off. Um, AMD, oh wow. I don't know about AMD, but my main thing is Nvidia. So Spies and Q, the divergence been a lot lately. Like yesterday, they looked so irregular. Like they didn't look alike at all, and that's usually not the case. Um, I'm not sure why, but yeah. So it's kind of weird. Look at the reaction. It's just so different, and the entire pattern yesterday was just completely different between them, and that doesn't give me much confidence in the market. Nvidia is rejecting off this level I put. I don't care about Apple. Tesla's looking like AMD. Yeah, I don't care about Apple, so I'm just gonna put AMD here. See what AMD does on this retest over here. And see Nvidia does too on this level. AMD's quite expensive right now. Knowing Nvidia, whoa, voice crack. But knowing Nvidia, like it always just like breaks and then just explodes. It never retests, and I don't really like that. I'm not a breakout trader. Um, See, AMD was more like an immediate retest, which I also don't like. Yeah, I gotta wait for a good clean retest, or I'm just not interested. Even though it could work out like it has been the last couple days, but I don't know, such a news heavy week, and you just need a lot of experience to trade in these types of markets. And this market was like so, I don't know what the hell was going on. It was irregular. See, this is exactly what I expected. It won't retest, but we'll see. The price action isn't as explosive as I thought it would be, so it could come back down. Yeah, the 205 calls, or no, it's 207.50s. It's up about $2 a con, which is kind of a lot from when I looked at it over here. See what AMD's looking like. I didn't mean to click on that. Apple's IV is quite low for earnings, but still, not gonna trade it. Let's put Apple here if I ever want to look at it. But this is definitely hands off. They're just gonna wait for earnings. Yeah, I knew Nvidia won't retest. It never does. Yeah, this is all Nvidia's been doing lately, and it's just something I'm not really comfortable with. Yeah, look at the differences in SPY and Qs. It's kind of insane. See, this is the part of the strategy it's the discretionary. This is where it's kind of moves away a little bit from mechanical because now this is just experience of like you know what it's gonna do. And that just takes time, a lot of time. Like I bet a lot of experienced traders that also break and retest got in right here on this immediate retest. Beautiful entry, but someone that's new to the strategy, I won't be able to detect that and know there's continuation. Like same with Nvidia, but at least Nvidia, like I knew this would happen, just blow up, cause that's what it's been doing. That's its personality. And it's very important to know the personality of the tickers you're trading. Like Tesla's personality is my favorite, and Nvidia would probably be second. Cause look at this. Both semiconductors are look like they're aligned. See what SPY does. Ideally for SPY, you want it to just retest off this level and just go up. Oh yeah, stopped an AMD for sure if anyone got in right here. Um, that's a big dip. We'll see if Nvidia could give me a good retest so I could enter. I'm really looking forward for Nvidia. See if SPY could hold this previous day high. Yeah, they're super in line. Q's just ranging. I don't like when Q's does this. Like, I mean, obviously no one likes it, but I mean for entry, it just doesn't give me good conviction. see what Nvidia does here. SPY is really fighting its previous day high level. Just barcoding. It's a lot of wicks, a lot of wicks. I don't know if I'll be as interested in Nvidia anymore because I just lost this momentum heavily. But if it gives me a good retest, I'll definitely enter. SPY just keeps rejecting this level. I need it to. Just market context is just difficult. It would be a small risk. Pre-market high doesn't give me a like crazy conviction in the key level. It's not like as strong as previous day high and low, but there is liquidity around there, so that's why it's a key level. Yeah, 210 calls are pretty expensive for Nvidia, but see the price action here. Oh, not a good entry anymore. I really needed to pull back to like 209.50. Up about 50 cents, 60 cents a con. The Apple's a good one, but with earnings, I don't like it. See, it didn't give me a perfect retest, but yeah, I never would have expected this. just to explode like that. I thought I was gonna like open another candle, come a little bit lower, then I'll get in there, but I was hoping too much for a sniper entry. There we go, spy. Wasn't even looking. I don't mind trading spy today. I wanted it as soon as it broke above this level, like as soon as like the candle just opened it, like about right here. I wanted to get in, to be honest, but I was paying too much attention to Nvidia. Yeah, I would not trade Qs today, but SPY I don't mind at all. Nah, SPY broke that level. See what Nvidia's doing. But I'm not interested in SPY anymore because of that. It broke below this level. And it says a break and retest of the previous day high still. So we'll take this out so you could not get distracted. Uh-oh. See if it gets bought up. It's good. I don't know. Just not liking everything that's happening, man. Just not liking that at all. These wicks. scary. Like literally everything's at a key level. And we've seen so many reversals lately. Everything's shopping so bad. The diversions is also like not making me happy. I'm not liking the price action on SPY for me to get in. It's a good price action candle on SPY right now, but I need more confirmation for this the second candle. Just of how everything's been going. I'm just not liking the price. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. Ooh, Q's exploded. It's kind of the move I was looking for. So did SPY. As soon as I look away, it's so funny. If I closely watch it, nope. I wouldn't have be able to get out anyways. That was too quick of a move. Yeah, I'm not liking. There's no continuation. There's no big moves. Um, I need this break. I think if Q's holds above this level, everything will go up. I'll definitely reach over here. I believe this is pre-market high, yeah. And then it'll hit this level, and we'll see if it could retest, maybe for continuation. But now semiconductors are lacking. The cons are up that much as I thought it would be. It's what, like 30 bucks? 30 cents? Surprising. or Tesla not getting any love. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough market. I figured. Whatever, we expected this. I really wanted Nvidia to retest properly, but I wouldn't have sold, to be honest, yet. My one, and I'm playing one con, so I can't even scale. That's something that sucks. But honestly, that's kind of greedy. I literally should like get out right here for a 2R, but I wanted to get out actual high day, but it hit the body. She's still a 4, 1 to 4. That's like really good. If Nvidia retests, that gives me a good one. I'll definitely get in because I believe both of these are gonna stay above these levels, and if that happens, Nvidia should be bullish for the day. There you go. Now SPY and Qs are more aligned. It's a good sign, but yeah, 10 o'clock volume right now. There we go, Nvidia. There we go. See what Nvidia calls are. I think I was looking at 2750, 20750s, and they're about they're so yeah, $1.50 a con on plus on Nvidia right now, which is really good. Problem with this entry, my risk would I'd be forced to be this, literally, and yeah, I would literally have to put a 2 exactly. So yeah, I would have got out now, but that's only if I got a sniper entry. This would be annoying. This stop loss. It's a bit too wide for my liking. I know Palantir is doing good. Did I spell it wrong? There you go. Yeah, wow. It's impressive, but I don't trade Palantir, unfortunately. There we go. Nvidia is super bullish. It's like super. It's, it's very good, very good. See Nvidia cons are at now. I think I looked at the 20750s. Yeah, this is now like $3 up. Oh wow. Yeah, Nvidia doesn't look like a good entry anymore. Just even if it does pull back, that'll take so many hours for it to work out like properly and just give us good continuation. It'd probably go up over time, especially till end of the week. But pre-FOMC, it's very risky, especially the one con. See, I don't know what my stop loss would be here. It's just not. It's too wide. It'd have to be all the way down here. That's a pretty big stop loss. I'd be forced for this to be entry, my entry. It just doesn't look too pretty. Yeah, this is now untradeable. SPY and Q's reclaiming. I'm not looking for entry anymore. Even if it works out, it's not really worth with one con. You gotta play. You can't play like the same people that play with like 50, 100 cons. It's just not the same. They could literally take out 80%, like from here to here, take out 80%, and if this goes to zero, right back at break even, they sell right here. They're still up by a lot, you know. With one con, gotta get in and out instantly, and like scalps are just, eh, it's not the best with one con, unfortunately. See, I really wanted to get in, about right here. but I needed the actual like touch, you know, because I need like I don't know, like I said today, I need A plus setups. Q's was already trash. Spy wasn't that the greatest. It wasn't terrible though. At this time, you know, but they were both really bad. So I needed that perfect touch in the sixth, but I didn't expect it to explode like this. It did come and give me another chance, but also same thing. I don't like it. Yeah, but I could have read this. That would it probably I could have, but that would take a lot of discretionary. This is not part of my system. I just have to know like, oh, if it comes this close, it's still good enough. I know like kilos or zones, but today is not the day I would like to be looking for a zone, to be honest. Cause look, this very much could happen right here. This is the exact same candle. This was gonna happen, maybe this, and it could just drop. Could just drop, either touch this level or go below up until here. I know a lot of liquidity is sitting right here, which is where my stop loss was. And yeah, so you can never know, especially with the Qs and SPY. It didn't look pretty at all, so that's why I didn't enter. But it ended up working out because I had relative strength. But I'm not gonna gamble, especially before FOMC of all days. And I don't really see a reason, because I've been like days before I missed out on like oh, I missed my entry right here or somewhere around right here. I was like, "Ah, I'm just gonna call it a day," and it just kept going down until like 11:30, which is when I stopped trading. And look at this move, like insane move because of its news, because Nvidia just announced with no, Nokia. But I just don't see another reason for Nvidia to move higher, like just constantly. Like especially like yesterday, that was insane. No one would have known unless you're really tapped into the news or you're an insider. But I don't see Nvidia having that type of move today, so that's why like I don't even get in just to hold it for overnight. And I don't really feel comfortable holding one con overnight because that could destroy you. And you have to monitor it constantly, just ruin your whole day. It's good to like if I went here to here, I've had like 20 cons. I got out about like high day right here, and then I left. Let's say five cons, three cons for overnight. That would make me feel at ease because I have locked in realized profits that I could play with. And even if I went all the way back down to my entry point, which it did right now, but let's say that this would probably be my stop loss right here. So it can nothing close below this. This will be my stop loss. If it goes below this and I sell, I'm still positive, like by quite a bit too. 15 cons plus on this move on a what it was like almost a $2 or $3 con move, I think, per con. That's quite a bit, you know. It's about 3 grand right there, minimum. So if it goes to zero, I'd still be netting 2.5 easily. Yeah, but that's what really sucks, and I know I have to take my time, just learn the craft with one con, just perfect my skill, and I'm not even ready for enough size. My mental is not strong enough yet, but it's really hard. It's really hard one con. I'm not gonna lie. It makes it much more difficult. But I need to perfect my strategy and my edge, so I could be comfortable enough to trade one con. I mean, more cons. Right now, for me assessing my trading, I'm a little bit more fearful, more selective, very picky, and that's mainly because I don't want to lose money, obviously. What other reason is there? There's not one A plus setup the last week, even 2 weeks. Um, but I took a lot last week because like whatever, because I wanted to. I gotta didn't trade. I have to trade. and I lost about 400 bucks in 1 week. And my account size was a grand, 1,000. So imagine losing 40% of your account in 1 week. That takes a hit. That's bad. Also, I needed to, I journaled, reassessed, saw my mistakes, learning from them, and I applied them to this week. I saved a lot of money this week actually because there's a lot of entries that I really wanted to take, like AMD. I would have took this reclaim right here. Um, or not this reclaim. It was this retest. Okay, where was it? This retest on previous day high. I would have took it like right away. That's literally how I'd enter. I would enter exactly in this candle. It is aggressive, but my stop loss would be tight, so I could like make up for it. It's a lower win rate, but higher risk reward. Boom, stopped. I would have lost 100 bucks on this easily. Nvidia. Because of me learning about these aggressive moves, aggressive entries that I keep doing and I keep losing consistently. This I would have got entered. I would have definitely entered if Q's and SPY gave me a reason to, especially Q's. This was trash. Um, so I just didn't give me a reason. And that's also a big mistake I had last week is that I never wait for market context. I never waited for Q to signal me to enter. Today, sometimes it works out. Like Nvidia's been working out no matter what Q's doing, to be honest, lately. That's because of how news heavy everything is. News always trumps technicals. But I don't regret not entering into this. I maybe not entering to this one. This one I kind of regret a little bit more because I should have saw this. You know, liquidity was sitting right here, especially with this move, and I would have exploded probably again. But again, I also could not like here. You know, even after I made this big move, I know it dipped, it dumped, but it could keep moving upside. But right now, just not worth it. I'd have to monitor in a 5 minute time frame, especially before FOMC. I don't want to hold a con before through FOMC. It's not worth. But yeah, I would have lost quite a. I would have lost a. I think I would have been negative if I traded exactly like I did last week, like aggressive. Especially not waiting market context. Some have worked a lot. Probably like this one would have probably made up for my loss if I got in right here or right here. Um, at least 300 of it. That would have been a $300 move right there. But on one con, which is crazy. But just not worth. It's not in my system. And I know if I keep trading like this consistently, I will lose for sure. It doesn't work 100% of the time. It won't work even 50% of the time. So you gotta back test. I am more of an aggressive trader though, I'm not gonna lie. But I pivoted to more of a conservative trader. I'm naturally aggressive, but I adjusted myself. And it's boring. I highly dislike it, I'm not gonna lie. Because even if you lose, it makes you feel something. It makes you feel like you're doing something. Not just sitting around, just talking, doing nothing. But this is part of the action. Losing it does take a toll on you, but honestly, for me, knowing my psychology and how I react, regret hits harder to me than loss. So, me regretting not entering here, so FOMO, hurts more than me actually entering an aggressive entry and losing. They both hurt, but what hurts more? And for me personally, it would be this one. Some people it could be the money, but I having a thesis and a vision, like exactly like, and I don't enter and it plays out, and it just is the worst. At least you're right, but you know, what good does it do if you just keep being right without any action? You could just, it's hindsight. And I could say, oh, thank God I didn't enter, I was wrong. Then what? Like, it's just better to just enter, to be honest. It's okay if you lose, but no reason being a wuss right now because of news. That's it. Next week, best believe, I'm going crazy. If trends show themselves to me, if a good setup shows itself to me, if I have good market context or decent, not even good, just decent, bare minimum, this is not good. This is trash. bare minimum decent, I'm entering. I don't care if I lose or not. I just have a good tight stop loss like here. That's why I wanted my entry. I literally wanted to get in right here. Stop loss right here. That's like 30 cent on the con right there, about, which is nothing. $30 loss. I'll take that any day for a potential $300 win. And this wouldn't have been my profit target. It would probably be around. It was right here. I said earlier. So, but because it's 211, 211.64, I'll just bring it down to 211.50 or 211 on the dot. That'll still give me a 1 to 3 easily, or 1 to 4. But yeah. But I'm glad I usually wait for candle confirmation. But by the time I waited for this one, it ripped. This one blew up in like 10 seconds. This one. And that's when you get a poor entry. That's also one of my mistakes, is that I have FOMO. So I see, my thesis working out, and I wait for a candle confirmation. It just blows up. I'm like, okay, I don't care. I'm getting in. Let's get it work out. And sure, sometimes it does work out, but I literally halved my profit because of a poor entry. Or I get in and my stop loss has to be so wide, for it to invalidate itself. So right here, like honestly, if you're still in the video right now, I still wouldn't have been stopped out. It'd still be right here if I'm holding trailers, but I would have got out like about right here, regardless. But if I was holding money, I still would be holding them because the trade is not validated yet, unless it breaks below this. Sure, you could say it breaks below this and it's invalidated, but technically no. It's still not like it's not. It's an intraday higher low, sure, but it's not a higher time frame higher low. You're still good. You're more than good. If the candle actually closes below this candle that broke above the pre-market high, then I would definitely get out. Because it's a higher chance it could just keep going down. It's all about probability. It's all daily trading. It's just chance, chance, chance. And you have to pivot yourself, place yourself in front of the higher end of the chance. You know, the market is already hard enough. Um, so let's say like this move right here, if I entered, let's say because of the higher time frame thesis, everything's bullish. Um, Give us a decent retest. Like it's not perfect, but it was a retest. The chance of it working out was like 60 to 40. Still 40% chance to lose, but 60% chance to win. Over time, if you keep taking these types of trades, the high probability trades, you will be profitable. It's all about the long run. You cannot judge on only 10 trades too much. It's not enough volume. The more volume, the more accurate a statistic is. And um, it would be even higher, like the odds, if the context was there with Qs. It wasn't, so that's why it's 60-40 or even 55-30, 55-45. But if context was there with Qs and it did this move right here, or right here, which it did, so right here, this entry would have been like 70-30 because of this. Because it broke above this consolidation and it just blew up. And that's why I put this line earlier. I knew as soon as it breaks above this level, we're in a good spot. So I'm learning also to plant intraday levels, which is also a big, big skill to learn. It really helps you. It actually helped me tremendously, just knowing how the market moves and where liquidity is sitting. And I knew that once, a candle closes above this level, we're in a good spot for most stickers, which I was right, but I was ultimately just came right back down. And that's the reason also I put this, because I wanted to enter into Qs, just to, a quick scalp, get out here. But I'd rather just like plan a thesis and just get in and out, or plan a thesis and see if I'm right with spies and Qs, and most of the time I actually am, which is surprising. But I don't really like trading Qs and SPY because one, there's 0-day contracts, so I have to get in and out quickly. I can never hold any. Regardless, I barely hold anyways because it's one contract. And the moves are just so minute. It just doesn't have an explosive move. I like really big moves. Obviously, it's more money, but I don't know. I like looking at individual tech stocks, looking cues for a signal to enter. It's kind of my way. But if I would trade one ticker that I just have to trade that one ticker, I don't have to compare it to anything else, it would be SPY. This is by itself. It's its own thing. Even with Qs, Q, if you want to get in Qs, you have to look at SPY. See, Qs run the tech stocks, SPY runs Q. Nothing runs SPY. SPY is the apex. So if you want to just, that's what I've been doing. I've just been watching SPY. If I want to trade one thing and focus on one thing and backtest one thing, would be definitely SPY because it moves individually. It moves the entire market. So there's nothing to compare SPY to. You could compare the SPY and Qs to all the other tech stocks to see how this is moving, but I think that's just too much. Too much. Honestly, you're doing too much. Sure, it'll help you a little bit, but and I know some people do that, especially for better entries and better market context, because obviously these are the top five big companies. You know, these five, the Mag 7 in general, and AMD. They're primarily the ones that move Qs the most. So if you know what they're doing, most likely Q will have a reaction to that. But it's so hard to average all seven out or eight out at the same time and see it's just too much. Especially like when every second matters and you're on a 1 minute time frame. Good luck. Good luck doing that every single day. It's exhausting. I would just trade Q and just compare it to SPY. If these two have too much divergence, which has been doing lately, now it's correcting itself. See, now they look the same. But earlier, no. And yesterday it was really bad too. I would never trade Qs if it's so much different than SPY. But SPY doesn't matter. You could trade SPY by itself. Again, one thing I learned also from last week. I just keep learning more and more every day, and I always think, oh, I'm ready. I'm gonna get in. Like I understand it now. No, I'm far from it, man. I just keep learning new things every single day. I literally learned this type of thing level like yesterday, where if a stock barcodes, especially in indices like SPY and Qs, if it just keeps barcoding and it just keeps consolidating, it's holding. It keeps holding that power just to explode. It's like an elastic storing kinetic energy. So as soon as you let go, it just explodes. It rips. So the longer it consolidates, the more explosive the move is. Especially the bigger the bars are too. Not wicks, the actual candle body. And SPY yesterday, it kind of did that. It consolidated really tightly. And that's where I noticed it. And I keep noticing it, and I just keep noticing new patterns every single day. I trade, and I'm really like happy with that. So right here, boom, 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 boom. Such massive bodies. And I put a level here and here, see which way it goes down to, and I went here. So if I got in right here, so I always wait for a candle close above the level. I'm not waiting for a wick or anything. Keeps going here, and then look. It just kept holding that energy, and it didn't explode like crazy, like not as like let's say like Nvidia like this, but sometimes it does do that. And I believe Qs did the same thing yesterday too. Um, right here, it just went for the upside. Also, you have to get in and like don't hold it for too long. It's not looking like yeah. I put a key level right here for it, and it smacked perfectly on that key level, which is crazy. Like I'm getting much better at placing key levels too. But this wouldn't have been my exit anyways, even if I got in. I don't trade this late in the day, but let's say if I did, it would literally be like right here. That's literally when I got out. That'd probably be 687.50, so I'd wait like till there. That's actually very long, consolidating, but as long as it doesn't break below this level, we were good, which it didn't. Yeah, Q's exploded right there, and right here, boom, 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 boom. As soon as it broke below level, boom, just to the downside, all the way down to this key level, it was just this the day low. This was I didn't have this yesterday because this is previous day low for today from today. Yeah. every single time. Every single time. It just barcodes. All I gotta do is plot boom boom, one on each side, see which way it goes, and just ride it. It's 1 to 2 R, quick scalp, get it in and out. Don't expect much continuation. Um, because it's not really like a, this is more like a daily bias, or sorry, no daily bias type of trade where you don't need a daily bias. It's like more of a 5 minute opening range type of trade, but with like intraday. And it's something like an edge. I'll probably like put this into my system. And this is something I fully figured out. I didn't learn it from anywhere. Probably it's for sure videos and people have figured out too and made videos about it, and it's a pattern they recognize. If I recognized it, for sure other people did too. But I'm very very glad that I caught my very first like actual pattern that could be a benefit to my edge in my trading. And it's definitely something I'll use, and I literally used it today, and it worked out. It would be literally like it would be literally a quick scalp. I was waiting for candle close because it does wick a lot above these levels because there's so much liquidity building up here and here. So I don't know which way it'll go, but as soon as candle closed, it was up here. Now it's too late for an entry, so that I don't care anymore. But as long as I was right, I would have made even if I got in right here. This is about 30 cents on the con, which is 30 bucks. It's nothing. It's just me. It's just about being, your thesis being correct. That's what really matters. It means you're starting to know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing, but you're starting. Um, Tech stocks don't really barcode as much as indices. That's why I mainly focus on indices with this strategy. Um, from what I've seen, again, this is my experience building. This is not something I would have known, a month ago when I started. And it just goes to show you how much, like only a month. People trade for years to figure, some things out about their edge and just formulate it. Like this is only 1 month, and I've caught so much just from being in front of the charts every single day. Just all you gotta do is show up, even if you don't trade, act like you're paper trading. I don't paper trade. I don't really like it. I find it kind of dumb. It's basically you're back testing but forward testing. The main thing, with the stocks is the money, the psychology aspect. You could just like instead, which is what I'm doing is paper trading, but with my mind. So I'm just like, oh, getting a thesis, putting a key level, oh, this breaks above, most likely it would go up, and I was right. It doesn't mean anything. I didn't make any money. Exactly like paper trading, and your thesis is right. That's it. It's basically the same thing. So that's why I'd rather just do that than actually go on paper trading and just get in and out on dumb things because like just take dumb entries and dumb exits just because you have no money on the line, so you don't care. That's usually how people paper trade, and I don't like that. So I'd rather be in the real market live. And if I see A plus setup, I'll actually take a real money rather than paper trading, and you get the best of both worlds. You can make a thesis on any other ticker you want. See if you're right. If you are, good. If you're not, whatever. No money on the line regardless. There's no psychology. And if you see an A plus setup, I could still get in money. I don't have to like sign out, sign back in, wait for all this to load up, and then take an entry when I found an A plus setup that probably already now moved to the upside and now you're too late. It just sucks. I just don't like paper trading. I'd rather just forward test with real money. If I'm looking to still finalize my edge and everything, I'll just back test. But once you know your edge and you have a good strategy that you understand when to enter and when not to. You understand market structure, market context, like what signals to look for, higher time frame, thesis. Like I know that sounds like a lot, but honestly, this is very basic especially for a day trader. Once you know all those, you're ready for forward testing with real money. Like it doesn't matter if you're not perfect, you will lose money regardless. No matter how much you backtest, you will lose money. So you gotta get used to losing money as fast as possible. As soon as you lock that down, it's gonna love. You just gotta be unstoppable because you'll just once you do something that sucks over and over and over again that you hate and you fear, that fear will eventually go away. You basically be facing your fear head on every single day. I can't even afford to lose the money, to be honest. Like I just keep trading, and I lost 40% of my account, damn near blew it. But I've never blown an account, and I plan not to. Obviously, no one plans to, but I want to be profitable without ever blowing an account. That's my goal. If I have to play fearful for a little bit and wait for A plus setups, especially in the news week, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm just yapping here, but yeah, just a lot of things I've been thinking about. And wow, Nvidia up 10 points since open. It's pretty good. Or not since open, since pre-market. Um, yeah, I'm just proud of how far I've come. Now time to make some money, show for it. Trying my best. But just a very difficult month I started, unfortunately. The first month of October was easy, but I wasn't forward testing. That's when I was actually back testing and learning strategies and everything. I took my first trade on October 10th, which is when Trump tweeted the tariffs against China. And from then on, the market has been impossible for me. Like, I couldn't have picked a worse time to enter trading. Like, it's insane. The first day I start, big dump, just massive. If you see the sell-off, like, it was insane. Like, I'll show you what's going on 1 hour. So, let's go back to October 10. Look at this. This is when I started. Right here. I was so happy, I was in pre-market, woke up early, ready to, I finally like feel confident about my strategy and my everything, my edge, and how to read market context and everything. Boom. Applied out all my levels, previous day low, high, pre-market high, low, key pivot points, and look what happens. This is on Tesla. I was trading AMD that day. Boom. This is what I traded. I somehow, by the way, made a profit today. This day. I made 40 bucks. I was proud of it, because it was small. But the reason why I made 40, I should have made a lot more because I was scared. I had such a poor entry. I literally went because I FOMO'd into it. I was like, oh, this might work. I don't know. It's good to retest, but I want to see one more candle confirmation. Oh no, give me one more. I waited for 3 candles to form before I entered to the upside. It was a long, and it was like a small little scalp. It would have been like probably $150 profit because I waited for so long for confirmation. It was already halfway into the move. I got in. It hit the final profit target I originally intended to hit. Whoa, to hit. Um, and I got out, and I got 40 bucks. It was good, but yeah, it wasn't the best. Because still, from then on, the market has just trying to recover. That's all it's been trying to do. Just recover, recover, recover. See, this was when I was backtesting. Like, look at this. It was just so easy to trade up until this point. It's very easy to trade with the trend. This was just chop. We're just in this chop, you know. And also another thing I FOMO'd, or not FOMO'd, sorry, I was feared, is that I saw this flat top happening. Literally the most perfect flat top, textbook flat top you've ever seen in your life. You know, I wanted it to break, retest, and then I could definitely get in here. I would literally hold it. This is the type of swing trade I would take. But AMD just exploded right through it. I was like, ah, too late to enter. It's definitely too late. Boy, was I wrong. What is this? Just keeps going up and up. This was like what? And I saw it. Like I saw it literally explode through, and I could have got in a 245 flat easily. Now it's at it hit like what 264, 20-point move over 3 days, 5 days. Sorry, it was a week. So if I got next day cons, which I definitely wouldn't have traded ZOTT for that, but next day, I mean next week, which is this week, October 31st expiry, I would have been up like a stupid amount. It would have been very like I don't even know when the cons would be. I forgot what calls there were, but it was, mm, it might have been 250. It's probably even more than, it's probably even less than this. It's probably 247.50s. It was a lot. Like, it would have been like, this would have been a giant move. Maybe 245 calls. It's not even on my list anymore because I limit it. Because I don't need to, I would never buy up here. It's too far in the money. But it was a giant move. This would have been like a 2 grand move swing. I'm not even joking. That's how big it was. Especially with this premium. But theta would also decay, so I don't know. Theta would also fight against my profits, but so it's kind of difficult to swing trade. Um, well, swing trade options, but once I learn how to day trade consistently, options, I'm gonna pivot to swing trading. I'm gonna do both at the same time, obviously. Manage my positions. I have to have two different accounts, obviously, because it ruins your P&L. It just looks weird when you're swing trading and day trading on the same account. I wouldn't recommend it. Sometimes your swing trade because you need a bigger stop loss for swing trading. You need to give it more room, but also a bigger profit target, so it's high risk, high reward. And once you see like your account in like says daily right here, and like a negative 500 drawdown, it just ruins your psychology. It just makes you doesn't think certain like what's going on. But it's just you have to remember it's your swing trade, but it just makes it all confusing. It's better to just separate the accounts, keep it simple for yourself. So once I make enough, like I would say like I probably hit like I want to hit 5 grand in day trading profit or 5 grand account, so whatever, like 4 grand profit. Um, Once I hit that, I'd probably take 2 grand and just put it into a different account, swing account, just made for swinging, and um 3 grand I'll play with the day trading and just size up a little bit, you know, 2, 3 cons, eventually 5, and then 10. I just keep growing my account from that. I just snowball. It's always everyone tells me the first grand is always the hardest to make. The next 10 grand comes easier. 50 grand comes even easier. 100 grand comes even easier, and it just keeps going from there. So I just gotta make my first grand. That's all I gotta do. That's all I'm looking for. That's my first goal. I'll keep making new goals. I dream big, but this is a $1 million skill at the end of the day, so it's limitless. It is limitless. All that matters is your system. If it works, the bigger the size, the bigger the payout. If you're consistent and you know what you're doing and your psychology could handle it, most importantly. Because day trading is 80-20 psych and techs. 20% technicals, 80% psychology. I think, to be honest, I'm pretty good at techs now. Like I'm really good at technicals. Like there's only like a couple more. Like I'll probably like out of the 20%, I'm probably 15% there. Probably 5% more. I just need to learn a little bit. From then on, I think from that last 5%, I'll probably need just experience from just to accumulate that last 5%. You know, you have to be an absolute master on the charts. Experience will be it for me. So I just to add that discretionary part in my system, my strategy, and I just you need experience for that, unfortunately. And I just wait. It will come to me. I know it will. So far from what I've learned in the last 2 weeks of forward testing, which is like actually live trading, I've learned so much from just experience. Imagine people, imagine if I trade for a couple of years. Like knowledge is infinite. Yeah, but I try to keep it as mechanical as possible. Yeah, I can't wait to get that discretionary part of my system because that discretionary really helps. It really like synergizes well with the mechanical part of your system. And something like this NVIDIA right here, boom, right here, and then looking at Q's trash. People who got in right here or right here, especially right here, this is discretion. This is where over your market experience, you'll be like, this is a good entry because it retested perfectly off this. Sure, it gave me an upward candle, which means sellers are trying to step in, but because Q's broke above this level that I marked out, um, it will high probability it would move to the upside. High probability. That's a key thing. It's not gonna for sure do it, but place yourself in front of high probability executions. And did just that, and that's what I lacked right there. I just that conviction, you know. That conviction comes with experience, and you just got to be scared not to lose money. It's just simple as that. You know, that's a lot of talking there. Also, this discretionary experience because sure this did work out pretty well, but I knew Apple is a no trade ticker because of earnings, and on top it's stacked upon FOMC together. But majority is on earnings. That's why I never trade anything like two plus or minus 2 days, or no, sorry, minus 2 days up until earnings. Once earnings passes, so Thursday, I think Apple's Thursday after close. So sorry, my headset closed there. But yeah, Friday I'm able to trade Apple, but that's because experience, not from my experience to be honest. I just the people I've learned from, they all told me, you know, FOMC be careful. Anything news, big news related, be careful. That actually like relates to the market. Like anything like Trump. Basically only Trump for a singular person. It's the only guy that could probably move the markets as strong as it does. Like as usually like strong he does it. And other like big news events like Fed cuts, FOMC, Jerome Powell, things like that. You know, don't trade. You know, you could trade those days like today, but be careful. Earnings, never trade. Um, minus 2 days. You know, just wait for it to pass and then trade. Sure, it could work out like here. Oh, went high day. You know, hey, your profit target should get out right here. But what's the probability of it working? Low. Just gotta think of that. Probability. There was a quick immediate retest on here. Boom, exploded. But how would you know when to get out? You know, you could have got out 271. It's a good whole cycle level, which is exactly what happened. A lot of people are holding that 271 level. A lot of sellers. Yeah, but just a good probability trade would be definitely Nvidia, which is the one I was looking into today. Also, that's the experience part of just knowing, and also part of the experience that I learned over the last 2 weeks is how Nvidia moves, especially Nvidia and AMD and Tesla. So that's why they're my three favorite. Apple not so much, but it does that sometimes. But it's the slowest out of the three. I mean out of the four. The big four I trade. I don't really trade Google, Meta, or Amazon, even though those are three great stocks, but it's good to just not spread yourself too thin. It's actually best to just trade one ticker, and then once you know how this moves, you're confident, then substitute into another ticker, start trading that one ticker, which is like AMD for example. Start mastering that one and knowing its personality, because each ticker has a unique personality, every single one of them. Um, Once you know that, go to Tesla. And once you know this, then go to Apple. It's basically what I did with backtesting, but I still don't know. I mean, I know their personalities overall, but I don't. Yeah, I don't think I've ever taken a Apple trade ever, like a real one live. Never. Neither Tesla, but the thing with Tesla is I would love to, but no, actually no, I've taken a Tesla before. Actually, that's wrong. When it was like $5 a con, so I could afford it. But right now I can't. It's too expensive. It's like stupid expensive. Yesterday I would have loved to take a Tesla trade yesterday, but the cons were averaging $10, which is like $1,000 USD. That's a lot. So it's my entire account size. Um, I'm not comfortable doing that. I don't think you even let it go through, to be honest. Um, yeah, but my main tickers I trade is Nvidia, AMD, Q. I sometimes trade and SPY, but I try to trade these, main tickers the most because they move the most, give you the most return too, and it's easier to compare just Qs to it. So all you gotta do is just compare Qs, see how it reacts, see if it has relative strength or weakness or just aligned with Qs. Today, Nvidia was all over the place to be honest. Like it was good, but compared to Qs, it had relative strength. So not so much now, but it's kind of aligning with Qs. But same with AMD. And usually semiconductors work together. They work very closely. That's why I just love AMD and Nvidia to be honest. I just love them. They're two rather cheap. Not too cheap, but quite cheap. Some usually. The only reason why they're quite expensive right now because of the moves they've been pulling off. They've been going up, especially Nvidia. It's usually like $2 to $3 a con. Now it's averaging five. One out the money. Um, Part of what I was saying before is that like the experience part is me knowing. Like I literally called it. I said as soon as this pushes above, I know it's just gonna rip. Most likely it won't come back down. It did. It didn't come back down as much as I wanted it to, but it did, which is surprising. But it just all it does is rip. Same with AMD. Just as soon as it explodes. This was an explosion though. I wouldn't consider this an explosion, but on um this one day, say look for example this one did never even retest. So it broke through. This is a news candle right here. It got a big sell off because it was very impulsive, and then once it broke above this level, which is look, this is the barcode I was talking about too. So it barcoded. Then as soon as a news candle hit, this was saved the stock to be honest. It just blew up right above, closed above. So I was like, I think this is now a late entry. Then it sold off. I was like, oh, this is a news candle for sure, because how impulsive it moved out of nowhere. This is like about to happen in a second. It was like blew up right there. I remember it live. I was like, oh, because it sold off here, it's probably not a good entry anymore. It's probably gonna move to the downside now. I don't like trading news candles personally. Boy, was I wrong. It went up, boom, and exploded. Didn't even retest ever. It's usually how AMD works. Same with Nvidia. Same with Tesla. Tesla's the biggest mover out of the three. That's why I would love to trade Tesla the most. Once it has, once you notice it has relative strength compared to Qs, this runs the most for sure. It just keeps running. I would say Nvidia's number two, AMD's number three, and Apple's dead last. Yeah, it's just more things I learn every single day. I'm always watching, stocks on TikTok and YouTube and just learning more about market context, market cycles, everything. I just learn everything. Everything I get my hands on, every video, I learn. Every trade review, I watch everything, even losses. You learn a lot from those people that lose. Also, like TGR, I've been watching his losses lately. They're bad. He trades futures though. I don't trade the same thing, but it's Nasdaq, ES, NQES. They're my watch list, so you know this is what he trades. But they they also move very similarly with SPY and Qs. So if you know how to trade, if you know how to trade one instrument, you could trade all of them. There's some differences, obviously. Like crypto has some nuances. You have to you have to adjust your edge a little bit to be better with that instrument. Same with futures or learn order flow, which is something I don't use in options. And let's say forex, and it's more volatile on that side. You just gotta learn the personality of what instrument you're trading. But every strategy works for everything, to be honest. If it works in one, it usually works for all. Like the break and retest for me, which is my strategy or my system overall, it works for all three. I've seen it work. I've used it in crypto. It works. But I just love options. Something about options is I love. Like you could start with such little money, and it's not. It doesn't like like crypto. Like crypto is also another one you could start with such little money, But crypto just feels like you're gambling, to be honest. It's just so volatile. Especially depends which coins you're trading, but it just so it's hard to day trade, very hard to day. It's more of a swing or position trade type of thing. That's what I would focus on. Higher time frame, break and retest, enter, exit at profit target. That's it. But um, options is one of the things I could day trade comfortably without needing much capital, and there's actually big moves. You could actually make a good amount of money without needing a funded either. I don't like funded, to be honest. I just want to trade with my own capital, not worry about evals and just passing a bunch of bullshit and just wait for a payout. I don't like it. I'd rather just that's like the only way to trade futures is if you don't have that much money, unfortunately. But if I do, grow my account such an extreme level, like over 100 grand, I'd be more than happy to trade futures. I think futures is much better if you have a lot of money. Um, it's what most day traders trade, to be honest, from what I've seen. Because you don't have to worry about Greeks or anything. You could hold it for as long as you can, nothing working against you. There's no delta. There's no like you don't have to worry about no underlying ticker. The premiums are not the same. You don't have to worry about like selling at big explosive. Because like if you're in Nvidia, you have to play with the premiums. You never sell on a dip. You wait for a little bit explosion, then sell there. Because people are willing to pay a little bit more to get in because of how explosive it is, you're actually getting a deal. They're getting scammed. When you're selling here, 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 just keep selling on a big green bullish candle. Because you selling here, like while it's going up, versus you selling, let's say here, it's the same level, but it's actually you're not getting the same amount of money because of the premiums. Because it sees now it's going to the downside, people are not willing to pay a premium for it. So that's what's like cool about options. I really like that. Once I learned how to do that, it taught me how to sell. Like you need to sell on these big explosive moves because you'll get more money for basically the same amount as like the less I don't know less of a move technically. Like I don't know how to say it, but if you sold here versus you sold here, you'll get much more on this green candle versus than you got on this candle, even though they're the same level on the underlying asset. It's all about premiums. Futures, you don't have to worry about that. Um, I don't know. I just really like options. Something's very intriguing about it. It's not beginner friendly at all, but it's very low capital friendly. I would say. That's what I say poor, but not poor. Low cap. You don't need that much capital. I'm shooting with $1,000. It's not working so far, but it will work. I know it. Just because I have one con, it's really hurting you, but it does hurt you. Just you have to stick with the plan. Wait till you get good enough where you can consistently win on one con, so you're worthy enough to go up to two cons, and then three cons, and so on. Right now, I'm not worthy, not ready. You know, Especially my psychology is not ready. Like literally, once I even one con on this type of tickers, like these these big four that I trade, I like my average loss is about like 1 to 150 average, because it's just how big they move. They're very volatile. That's why I like trading them too. But my gains is also about 150 to 200, so I'm basically netting $50 on my loss. On my win overall, which is not a great profit, but I feel just because I have one con, I can't scale, I can't hold any. Usually, especially in this type of market, my losses and my wins have been either break even or my loss has been bigger because this market is very difficult, especially as a beginner. But I try my best, to just stay strong. It will come to me. Market will be better. Right now, it's already better to be honest, but just such a news heavy week. I'm still, cautious. Telstar's got a big move. Yeah. See, look at the premiums. So look, this is the options, but look at this. So right here, you would have got in very well, like a good premium like options. So let's say if I got right here, put 460. You know, people are willing to pay a little bit more if you got in right here versus if you got in right here, just because of the premiums. It jumped up. And people always want, people, not, by I mean by people, I mean big institutions. They have a bunch of limit orders everywhere. You know, and your goal as a day trader is to know where those limit orders are. That's literally how, like, that's it. So look, there's a bunch of limit orders right here. You could tell. There's a bunch of liquidity sitting right here. So if you were to get in, let's say on this candle, this is a poor entry by the way, but I'm just saying. If you got in right here, your stop loss would be right here, because if it breaks below this level, it means all these didn't get filled, and sellers just brought it to the downside, and sellers are just stronger than buyers, and then invalidates the trade, and just lowers your chance for your thesis to work. It's all about chance. So you just want to get out right away, because like the probability is not on your side anymore. You don't have the edge anymore. You could always look to re-enter later, but right now it didn't work out. It invalidated your trade. Get out. And that's the beauty of options, man. And playing with the underlying asset. It's like really cool. And I don't really like strategies like ICT, SMT, SMC. All of them. It's just and there's so many models that people use for futures, and there's so many models you have to use for each situation. It just makes it so complicated. If I go to futures, I'm trading the break and retest. I don't care. I'll add a couple of things in, like more fair value gaps, because those are more useful on futures, and also order flows, things like that. But the core strategy is still the same. Actual foundation. I tried to learn ICT and all that. I understand them. It's good to learn every strategy and know which one resonates with you and which one you could understand the most, and which one you could repeat the most importantly, day to day, by yourself, without anybody telling you what to do, when to enter, when to exit, because how are you gonna grow if you're just following people? You're just never gonna be better. It's gonna be so dependent. My goal is not to be codependent, and I feel like I would be codependent. I'd be very confused sometimes with ICT. Breaking just makes everything simple. It's like a very simple strategy, and I tried all of them. I've seen so many strategies, so many. Breakout. I used to be a breakout trader. It's good. This especially in this type of market, it would be really good, especially one contract get in and out quick scalp. But breakout traders win rates suck, and the risk reward is also not that good because you could get faked out. You get faked out a lot. So I was like, you know what? What's like breakout just not doing it. It's not cutting it. I don't know what's going on. Like I just keep getting the market's against me. As soon as I get in right here and I see a good breakout, boom, it gets a little bit increase and it goes right back down and all the way back down. And it just hits my stop and I'm out. You know? I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I always waited. I was like, what's going on? Like I gotta find something. Like what's a confirmation I could find to give me better entry with more confidence and everything. But and I've stumbled upon like, what if I wait for it to break out, even if it breaks out super. If I miss this entire move, it's okay. And all these premiums that I could have got, it's okay because I know from every big buy, a sell-off must happen. It must. A dip must happen always. So I know that. I've seen it time and time again. It almost never not doesn't happen. It's very rarely where it just keeps going, 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 and just never comes back down. And so I implement this like, okay, let me just wait for the sell-off, and I'll get in at the sell-off. I get in and it starts working. I'm like, okay, okay. And then I started I started knowing key levels, started understanding that. So on that same key level that it broke out of, and if it comes back and it hits that level, and for some reason it's maintaining above this level, it's definitely an important key level. Then it means something. It means there's a lot of buyers here, a lot of institutions buying right here. So it means this is a good time to enter. If it keeps holding this level, why not? I put my stop loss right here. You know, the stop loss is usually bigger with break and retest than breakout, because breakout you have a tighter stop, but you have also better entry. That's why, but lower win rate. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay to tank that as long as I get a better win rate and a better and a decent risk reward. Not a better risk reward because it won't be better than breakout, but decent. I just got so tired of losing, and I implemented that, and I was like, okay, it works. Started learning more break and retest, you know, researching, finding people to educate me on it, and and here we are, learning a lot, showing up every day, which is the hardest part. And I'll never not show up. I'll never miss a day. Best believe. Been losing sleep, you know, sleepless nights on this. Um, Learning, backtesting, but I stopped backtesting now because now like I don't think I need to unless I'm trying a new strategy. I'll probably start backtesting this barcode rule. So right here, like there's another one right here. If anything breaks above these two levels, most likely it's gonna go in that direction for a quick scalp. So probably like this level or this level. I'll probably like start backtesting that, see if what's a good win rate on that. I'll probably backtest on spying cues only. That's the main time it happens on these types of tickers. It happened at AMD, sure, yesterday, but not often it does that. You're not gonna see that present itself a lot. So I'll probably backtest both of these over across like probably I'd say 6 months of data. I think it's the minimum you should do. Um, and see what's the win rate and what's the reliability on that. If it's good, I'll definitely add that in my playbook and increase my edge. See, the more and more I know, and everyone will have a different playbook. I thought if I just copy someone's playbook, replicate it word for word, and they keep telling me, oh, but you should backtest your own, you know, your own system and strategies to know you have the edge. I'm like, I know I have the edge. You told me I do. You know, I'm literally copying your strategy, your playbook, and why wouldn't I have edge? Because you backtested it for me, you did all the work for me. But the more you trade and you show up every day, the more you'll notice how some things you'll notice that they never taught you, and maybe they already know, but they just probably don't even have in their playbook. But you notice it, and you want to implement it in your playbook, and it increases your win rate. That's all what data is. You know, that's what journaling is for. And this is one that I've never been taught. No one ever told me this, and something I noticed within 2 weeks. And I caught on to it yesterday. And it's really cool. So, I thought, you know, I was set. Have my entire playbook, every setup I need. Nope, nope, you're wrong. You'll see more that you could want to implement, but don't implement it until you backtest it and make sure it's profitable. Only then and only then backtest over 6 months, and then it is ready for the live market. You are ready to trade in the live market, because then you'll also learn more about that certain type of strategy. So let's say sometimes the barcodes, and then sometimes sure it explodes up. Over so far, It's been doing that 100% of the time over the last 2 days. Every barcode I've seen, it exploded and moved to the upside and then went back right back down to that same level. Every single time. But sometimes you'll see over 6 months, this is over only 2 days. For 6 months, you'll see sometimes oh, it could explode and go dip right all the way back down. Boom, it's a loss. Or they just keep barcoding, barcoding, barcoding the rest of the day. And you're like, what the hell? You keep eyeing this and wait for like a breakout, and you just without looking at other parts of the market, and you just wasted your entire day. Just looking at consolidation. You'll just learn more things about that certain setup, and and you're also gonna gain confidence with it too. How confident you are in trading it. Yeah, I'm just learning a lot. Yeah, I think I'll call it a day here. I've just been rambling on, yapping to nobody, but it's healthy. It's good to get your mind, just speak your mind, to even to your screens. 'Kay, I know someday this will help someone. All these live sessions I'm uploading will help someone, and I'll have a community that I could probably help, hopefully. And just like I've been helped by many communities, gone through a couple. Hopefully I could create my own and help people like I've been helped and give back, really give back and teach people. I believe I'm a good teacher, to be honest. And only 1 month in, I believe I learned so much. And I know like once I have at least a year under my belt, and I'll probably be profitable by then. I know I will be. Everything will work out, and I'll just spread that knowledge to everyone. And I can't wait for that. I'm certain it will happen. Very, very confident. I won't stop until it does. And when it does, obviously I'll continue. Where's the reason to stop? Yeah, can't wait. Yeah, probably no one will probably even by then, no one will come back all the way back in a whole year and watch my previous live recordings for what? Like, what are you gonna learn from all the way back in a year? But probably that one person will, and they'll listen to this moment. And this entire live stream is probably the best live stream I've had in terms of my yapping and my philosophy. But maybe it could help them. As long as it helps that one person, it's worth it. All it needs is that one. And I also like I've made my setup like this so people could see what I'm doing like openly. Like nothing to hide. I hate when people like oh you market day trading, you live day trade every day, but all you see just this. What's good? What good is this? Sure, you live trade day trading. You don't want to be a signals Discord, sure, or you don't want people to be dependent on you. You don't want people to copy you just mindlessly. But if you say, you're looking for a good entry, I'll keep an eye out on, for example, Nvidia right here, and then as soon as like you got in right here, you're still like doing your executions and all that, and figuring it out right here, on this, because it's a little bit laggy, slow, and you're worrying about your executions first, and then you say, okay, took um 260 calls right here, or 20750 calls right here, um on Nvidia. You know, someone a couple of people at least will copy that and get in right here. This is a bad entry. You didn't get as good as him, as good as like him, you obviously, and it's just better to just like if you're gonna say like oh I entered here, and then as soon as it hit your stop loss you got out, and then you're like okay got out here, and it's like now down here, um, and people don't understand what they're doing. They're just getting in and out because you told them to. It's just better, might as well just to show your screen then, like just show your entries and exits. You know, like what are you hiding? There's nothing to hide here. your P&L, if you're already transparent enough, and most likely, like if you have a live Discord and you market live trading, I hope you're transparent enough with your P&L and your win rate, your risk to reward, everything. Because if you're not, I don't know why you even have a Discord, to be honest. So this shouldn't really, like, you're already gonna post it anyways on the internet. So if it's not a lie, why aren't you sharing your entire screen? I don't get it. Doesn't make any sense. So I don't copy trade anyone, but because I think I got good enough, I don't need to, and I know that um and even when I did, it just doesn't work out. It's just not as good as you think because your entries just won't be as good as theirs. They always tell you a bit too late, or you're just gonna have, as soon as they tell you, okay, like keep an eye on this, you have to decide whether you should enter or not. Don't wait for their confirmation to enter. Just do it. Because most likely you're gonna get a bad entry and your stop loss has to be all the way back here. So if it doesn't work out, they've only lost about 10% or 5%. They only risk 5% of their size, and you risked about 20 because of your poor entry. It really, cooks you in the long run. So yeah, I do this so everyone could see everything. You know, I know I would appreciate it, especially early, to do it, to if someone did this, and that's why I'm doing it. And I'll probably, like, once I have my Discord and I have a community and I teach people what I know. Headset died once again. I said, as I was saying, I said I would never sell a course. I don't think. I believe education should be free. Um, I don't think you should ever pay for a course because there's nothing that they will tell you that's not out there in the internet. Um, sure, I understand if you market a community, like-minded community especially, help answering your questions, specialized questions about the education you put out on, like, let's say YouTube, for example, for free. Live trading is a big one. If you're live trading properly, if you're not just live trading, like, you know, like, sure, this is good live trading, it's good. To keep an eye on here, I entered here. Sure, that's good enough. But I like a little bit more for my community, so I'd share everything. My one screen, I built this setup. I have two monitors, but I don't even use it. I have Discord in the other one. I mean, I have charts in the other one on half of it, and Discord in half in the other. But um, I don't even need the Discord. Sometimes I just close my Discord and I just have TradingView more charts on the other side, like four charts also, to see what I'm missing. Like usually it's about these two. I have these on the other side of the monitor just to see what I'm missing because I only trade six tickers anyway, so I only need these four and then these two on the other side. And I always have the two I'm not really trading the most to be on this side. So like it usually was Tesla Apple, but I have Tesla on its own thing because I never trade it anyways because I can't afford it. But once I do trade it, it'd be like this. It'd be like this way. But I'd have these four, make my entries here, executions right here, and nothing is hiding. Everything is out in the open for you guys. And if you're live trading, questions, as I said, community, um, and tips and tricks. Special tips and tricks, extra PDFs that work. Promotions, let's say, things like that. Sure, that's, I understand, paying for Discord, 100%. I don't see anything wrong about that. I wouldn't mind even doing that myself. Because you're not scamming anything. You're not doing anything like. I just believe things about, like, you marketing a course in there. That's your main selling point. And live trading. Let's say like a course and live trading. I think you just market live trading only. If you just market a course, I just don't understand that. Like, and usually, like, these types of people have trade YouTubes and TikToks and like educational content too. So if you're selling a course here and you keep on making a bunch of YouTube videos here, you're for sure gatekeeping on YouTube then. What you're putting out on YouTube is not the full amount of information you should be putting out into the world. If your intention is really to educate and help people, most of the time it's not. It's all about money. If it's all about money, your main selling point is a course in your Discord. It doesn't make any sense to me. I would put a full blown course, everything I know, every single thing I've ever used, everything that's useful that I currently use, and how to set up everything, everything to just get started. Um, on YouTube, a full course, in depth, like 10 to 20 hours long, and then I would, sure, I would funnel it into a Discord, have a link in my YouTube, for my Discord, but the main thing, my selling point there would be a community, answering your questions, and live trading, more importantly. Those are the big three. You should, if you're for a paid Discord. I think course is silly. Education should always be free, and knowledge is meant to be spread. What good is knowledge if you gatekeep it? It's literally knowledge is created for you to share it. So for you to share it for 200 a month or like 100 a month, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. And it's always like you buy that course, you go through it, you waste your entire month, for that, you know, completing their program, their course, and you notice that like 75% of this it was on your YouTube. The last 25% you gatekeeped, sure, but even then, the last 25% I could have learned by myself, to be honest, if I just, wasn't lazy and just put in a little bit more research and watch a little bit more YouTube videos. So that's why I just find it silly. It's just almost nobody is happy with a course, you're selling. But mentorship, on the other hand, that is for sure worth it. That to be on a one-on-one, or like let's say like if it's a group meeting, but they're giving you like actual like, good information that you could actually ask questions live with them and they talk to you, and it's like more exclusive. That I for sure I think is worth it. But if you were to just buy a course by itself, that's it. You got scammed. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. You got scammed. And trust me, I got scammed many times over. Courses are just not it, and I would never be a course seller. Never. I'd have a Discord, sure, but it'd be actual value that people could use and people, you know. But if you want to get started for free and do it yourself, it would be on my YouTube always. And I would never gatekeep anything on YouTube. I would put everything out there. That's just how I see it. Yeah, this is my longest stream yet, to be honest. But 2 hours. Yeah, I think I'll stop here. Enough yapping. I've yapped a lot. Damn, it's a lot on my chest or something. I don't know what just happened. But as you can see, this consolidation, this barcode, it's not breaking up. So now this, it probably just hit this profit target right here, like it did before, and then come back down. So this, if I would be looking into here, it'd be a quick scalp up here, and that's it. Yeah, good day, good speech. Uh, I hope in the future, I remember this day, I clip this, and I see my words never changed. I always believed in myself, and I knew I'd make it. Yeah. And one day this same stream could help someone. I really hope. That is actually my dream more than actually becoming profitable or successful in day trading. Is to spread it. That's I think is a better. Obviously sounds more selfless, but honestly, it's not selfless. It's more of a selfish thing to be honest because I get very great joy in doing this and like teaching people of what I know. So it's not just me being selfish, it's in it for me too. Actually more joy than actually making money, in my opinion. I don't know why, but something, it's a gift from God. Just like to just talk and spread what I know. It's part of my personality. And I'd hope I could do that at such a big scale and help thousands, tens of thousands of people one day, one day. Alright, guys. FMC in 2.5 hours. Jerome Powell speaking in 3 hours. See what happens then. And we'll catch you tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow's more of a tradable day. Yeah. Hopefully I could take a trade tomorrow. I think after tomorrow I should be able to like be confident enough to take a trade because now FMC's passed. Most earnings have passed after today's market close, except Apple. I'm not gonna trade Apple regardless until Friday. Um, yeah, but yeah, tomorrow should be a good trade, good trading day, hopefully.